Hello, lovely viewers. Welcome to another exciting episode on Cybercrime Alerts on GH Police TV, your number one most authentic and trusted cybersecurity TV show here in Ghana. Today, we are going to talk about a very interesting topic which we've been talking about over the weeks, and that is electronic payment system scams and mobile money, to be precise. And over the period, we've learned that mobile money service providers or our banks wouldn't call us or send us messages to initiate a transaction on our phone. And so it is very important that we get to understand that whichever way that messages or calls get onto our phone claiming that they are representatives from mobile money system service providers or our financial institution and requesting that we authorize a transaction means that whoever person is behind that is a cyber criminal, and as soon as possible you need to report it to the service providers first and then to the Ghana Police Service for immediate action. In today's episode, we are going to look at some of real-time scenarios where we will see these cyber criminals actively engaging users of mobile money systems, and this is a real life experience and scenarios so that you get to understand some of the red flags. One core goal of this TV show is to equip you with some of the signs and then let you understand and see red flags, so that in an instance where a cyber criminal gets to engage you at any level, for you to initiate a transaction on your phone or try to use other means on your vulnerabilities to let you transact an action or anything that you wouldn't want to do under normal circumstances that would lead to transferring your monies from your phone or your bank to another account which is controlled by the cyber criminal. Then you know that this is indeed a scam. And so we shall be playing real-time audios of cyber criminals engaging actively with users of online payment platforms and mobile money systems, as I mentioned, so that you get to understand how they do it. And so tag along with me as we start this discussion together.
I'm picking a mistake, so you mistake.
Okay. We put them in one man. Yes, I would tell me, and I told him one person to give him in poor die. I never said, Mr. Tias, empty office for that you can be some block mobile money account.
I want to send him some more blocking account. Me, who reason why?
Oh, I don't think I'm in front of a woman here, but there. Okay, so we take over and for another way. I'm one thing to give him a judge because maybe I'm doing much in the Canadian will be in the account to normal blocking.
May you know what they're playing?
Yeah, okay, now to register in the bank.
Ben.
Ghana card na to we na here.
Ghana card.
They won't say ya on what question.
What mean to?
If you go to the draft number metant line after Monaka, you know Munaka no matter be among after the for metant 20 be the one to my corner, or the metant line not support to upload this one. You know Munaka said no matter amount.
Metant for a bin as well, be me when they wait you.
Metant very like in put your blocking. I'm so many balance jaws were about problem Gabriel here.
Can we send you music and I'm on my blocking number? I mean, who are you?
And I make us a information and your marriage. You pick up your phone with you. You got to do the paper and he's coming here.
Now we still look at the area.
That's what I say.
May say, now what's it you seen in the one?
What's the one?
May say, Sicano. On my block account to me, Sandy, I wish you go to me tonight.
Who send you a bearing?
Message, you can send me try to send them. I'm our my block account into you or take the community there.
I'm a medium woman or my medium who will be more mythical who will be.
Now, so Missy, we go to new and a middle. Message, into go to the one again. Bra. Me say, nti sisi asem ne be de na utu dutum ne wa.
Odo be say na ere.
Okay, what say? Oh, you say beju. Me.
So, as we just listened, this is a cyber criminal actively engaging with a user. It could be a random user. So, what they typically would do is that they will send in a message, and then when you see the message, it will come as that there has been a transaction on your mobile money wallet. It could be that it's a wrong transaction, or it could be a message that your account has been blocked. And I'm sure with this scenario, it means that the message came that the person's account has been blocked. And we see that often. I mean, these cyber criminals will send you messages telling you that your account is blocked, and so they want to call you to help you to unblock your account. And we can see that the cyber criminal also requested that if the user had his Ghana card, he wanted it. And this is one way by which SIM swap scam is possible, because once they have your Ghana card details, they can fraudulently use it and then do whatever thing they want to do. And once you keep engaging them, they learn to identify your vulnerabilities. And remember, we mentioned that social engineering is one way by which these cyber criminals use. They try to look out on your weaknesses, on your vulnerabilities, and then they try to engage you until the point they know that you would be able to succumb to their request. And so the more you engage with them, the more they try to understand you and then lure you to perform an action. But here in our case, you realize that the user was a bit smart. He knew that indeed the person who called was a cyber criminal, and so he immediately twisted the conversation. And so the takeout from this is that it is very important to understand that even when someone sends a wrong transaction on your phone, and you can indeed authenticate that it's a wrong transaction, or maybe you received money you are not supposed to receive, immediately call the mobile money service providers and then let them understand that this is exactly what is happening. If it is indeed a genuine wrong transaction from MTN, Vodafone, or Airtel Tigo, or whichever payment system you'll be using, even from your bank, they'll be able to reverse the transaction. And so it's important that you do not be in the habit of engaging with these cyber criminals on phone when they tell you that they made a wrong transaction or your account has been blocked, and so they want to help you to reverse it. Typically, if you have sent a wrong transaction, the first thing to do is to call in onto your service providers for them to rectify it. And I will also advise that if it is indeed a wrong transaction that do come to your phone, do not cash out the money. I mean, it's also criminal to take people's money. There have been instances where people genuinely send money to wrong numbers. And so if you are not expecting maybe 1,000 Ghana cedis and then there's 1,000 Ghana cedis suddenly on your account, just call the service providers. If it's a wrong transaction that someone else have made, the person would be able to contact the service providers, and then the service providers at their end would do the reversal. So let's look at the next audio.
Hello, Mr. Boache.
Yeah, hello.
Oh, Mr. Cho, I'm here for no mafro.
Oh, bien frère, man.
Oh, and now your message be answered to my block to mobile money. No.
Your message, you say.
Oh, you see, Mr. Mama, do how much of my reverse can I cut to a more office? 3 days time in Sabacabanam, Nipa Boniphone into a mama block to mobile money. No.
It's saying I am on block.
And I want to go with Kawas now, that your balance no one idea. What take it be in Camiflower, we must start to be one. Obey empty no more head office, Nibu Honum.
I've been shut down by Mizaba.
Some touch already about the city now, so stick up here as well. About a problem, the other.
Oh, music was on the should and also.
Oh. It's about what you said, my sombra. Oh, I'm from the Metan from I'm family. I'm making us watch it much from there. Maybe I want to know if it's not the same time. So, only if I want to know motion to move you from my wife.
Pacho.
Let's make it a map blocking to more sombra.
Okay.
Afternoon. Jam was sombra Hawaii.
Pacho.
Oh. Sorry, Father. Yellow, have you registered your SIM card yet? To stake it. So with this idea, now we can jump on me about open church, mobile money, one, open church. MTN mobile money, yes, it can crash to say, and what mobile phone so? Metro, transfer, get transfer or free, and my name was Sydney. Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to MTN. My name is Sylvester, speaking from MTN Unlocking Head Department. Please, your name and how may I assist you this afternoon? Hello, good afternoon, Officer Pato. Where do you need the moment and catch you? Hello, Mr. Watt.
Hello?
MTN for Napa, Moasumra, and I'm in the Montreal, Moai.
Okay.
Okay, Officer Pamcho, I'm a logic complaint, Mamma. I am from South Africa, which will be a minimum account. The president Montreal, I'm watching, imagine I start blocking the pan account. I think I'm in Sakano, if I'm told when you're Papadini, never be a one to know my office, or line to be motion and me and account to my office. I need you. Okay, hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
If I turn up on say,
I'm out of now, sir.
Mother woman, you more problems with the Benton, Medina Sylvester, if I chose within the baby a cafe.
What you're from me, ma, because of free mampong.
If I man with the sorry them from Saturday to networking, so I am one man. Why?
Okay.
If you had any complaint, if it's maybe they will lie in the suit, I'm not fair for instant reversal. Let's complain now. I had the man imagine as well. Block it. Sorry, power.
Pacho.
Very good. You be the amount. I need to know afraid no line. So then I will see one dance the woman. Mobile money will need to come actually after your office here. If you didn't demand we have a patch of men saying it's a couple for the arm and our brother from why?
Pacho.
Very good. You be able to have one cut out ID card now to register mobile money.
Pacho say.
The patch of one cut ID card. I'm one so man kakawai. One cut ID card. And I Ghana card. I know they are to register mobile money.
The Ghana card.
What the Ghana card? One cut out here.
Pacho.
Very good. Now dance the moons, mobile money will need to can action. If you computer to me so I 150 cities in a reflector or animal. If I turn out so our balance was a better than the Jamai.
Balance in the shutdown doors about 5.2.
Oh, we get it back to any people be another to do what that's the send you be my big nothing more. I came with it. If you was one point, I was to pay anything you be on right.
Okay.
I have 5 city 20%.
Pacho say.
45 to the 20%.
There be 5.2.
Okay. If I do, I also start a pack in them.
Still, let's say Mr. Tuesday actually parking there.
Okay, well, locking on the also. And a serious number. So, the enemy on the test, there is a message back on the swallow. That's enough on the attack and I take keypad.
Friend is a keypad.
Keypad. Okay, and if you're supposed to message you from MTN Arriva. No message, I come up for you about phone. So that's one up message inbox. What's the number of what they say? Let us computer message and no, why.
Pacho.
And to show phone. So what's the message you ever saw? I'm going to look at it from MTN Arriva. If I can look at it, I want to send message that up.
That'll be all this and check it.
And to call message inbox. From MTN Arriva. That's what.
That'll be all.
Call message inbox. And the best first message.
Hello.
If I call message inbox where?
May call message or no.
I know. We be location that we be you go animal.
I'm gonna say transfer money chat and
Viewers, as you just listened, this is a very sophisticated way of these cyber criminals conducting whatever that they do to try to first and foremost get access to your SIM completely and then get direct access to your mobile money wallet. So as you just listen, you realize that the cyber criminal engaged the victim first and then try to sympathize with the victim, and I'm sure a message came through, and then the message was that the cyber criminal who is posing as a merchant, his number was blocked, and also the victim's number too was blocked, and so he was trying to sympathize with the victim to want to let him understand the situation before calling MTN. And it is important to note that no service provider would indeed allow anyone to call them and then would let the person add another contact, another number for a conference call in order to rectify a situation. So this is a first red flag you should indicate. And so if anyone calls you and tells you that he's a merchant number and that your number is blocked simply because there's a message on your phone and that you can only check your balance but you cannot perform any transaction, it means it's false. And so you should learn these red flags, and this is red flag number 2. Now you realize that the cyber criminal keeps asking a lot of questions, and like I mentioned, they always learn to understand their targets. They always try to play with your emotions to see if you're a young man, if you are educated, if you are an illiterate. These are things that these cyber criminals learn on their targets as they are engaging with them. And then, as we saw, as we listened, the cyber criminal called MTN, supposedly another cyber criminal, which obviously they work together. And then the person started asking questions, saying that he's from MTN and that the merchant called, and he indeed agreed that, they have blocked the user's account and that he has access, the MTN, supposedly, of course, the cyber criminal, have access to the person's funds on his mobile money. And then they started asking for the starter pack. Now, when you buy a SIM from any of the internet service providers, you realize that there are digits behind the card they give you. And these digits are supposed to be kept safe. In an event there are issues with your card, it helps the service providers to unlock some of the features on the card. If there are instances where your card is indeed lost, they ask for some of these things, and it's always found in the starter pack. So you realize that the cyber criminal indeed asked the user for those information, and this is made possible so that they will be able to take over the SIM completely. And you realize that in most cases, they send in messages. You realize that the cyber criminal mentioned that he has sent the user a message and needed the user to open it. It could be a phishing link. In our case, it could just be an authorization for the user to input his mobile money PIN. And once you do that, the cyber criminal gets access to your funds and then completely do a cash out at his or her end, and then get complete access to your funds. So it's important that you take note of some of these things. And I would always advise that whenever it happens this way, do not entertain them. Once you start seeing the red flags, they telling you that they want to add in MTN, and MTN asking you questions and then telling you to pick your starter pack, that there's a message on your phone, you need to input your mobile money details and all that, then you realize that this is indeed fraudulent, and these are cyber criminals. If indeed MTN has access to your funds and there has been a wrong transaction, why can't they do reversal of the transaction on their phone? This is something you should think about, because they are custodians of their own database. And so it is very important that you take notice of these things. And you realize that more often when you receive messages of this nature, there isn't a number tagged to it. It could be a private number, or the number could have been encrypted, or there is an unusual name attached to the number. So instead of the number, you see the name. There are bulk messaging systems online that people utilize, and so indeed it can be purchased, and then when someone sends you a message using those systems, it doesn't really come as a number, but it comes as a name. Companies use it to send information to their clients. Even your bank, you realize that whenever there are messages from your bank, there is always a name and there is no really number attached to it. The cyber criminals know this, and this is what they leverage on. So it is very important that we learn these red flags and report some of these things to the service providers and then to the Ghana Police Service. This is very sophisticated. If you do not know that this person is indeed a cyber criminal, obviously you fall for it. And whatever they tell you to do, you will do it, and then before you know it, your funds are being taken. So let's take note of this. Let's go to the next one.
Number I select lucky winners name and anything I may have why mammy.
Oh, okay, that's free branch again.
Papa, sorry, because free Accra or Sub branch.
Sub branch, but your manager didn't the
The pastor, my manager didn't Mr. Addison.
Oh, Sub branch, Mr. Addison.
The pastor,
me had more empty, or Honor Moses say I'm in Ocasi. My manager didn't. I don't know, yes, sir. So kind of the first one with Ninyasika. I don't know how to a modern for Quamboneso. I didn't know home terms, sir.
So, say it actually, Anna.
Won't you, but the way you know, if you know you want one, you see the Jazia, the best and you.
So, from this audio, you realize that it is a clear indication that is an example of either an investment scam or what we call a freebie scam, a promotional scam. We realized that a cyber criminal first called the lady and said that the lady has won a promotion, or maybe there's an ongoing promotion that the lady has won a prize, and so he needed the lady to confirm and then proceed in claiming the award. This is very so much seen in today's world when it comes to mobile money scams. You should understand that no service provider will call you on the pretext that you have won a promotion or there's something going on you've won, so you should initiate a transaction, or they want you to input your details on any message that will come or any link they might send to you, and then you claim it. You need to understand that this is a typical red flag. And so the catchy point for this particular audio is that once you've not subscribed to any service, please do not engage anyone telling you that you've won anything. Even when you have subscribed to a service that you know that there are awards or prizes that would come with it, reach to the service providers themselves, and then you can perform whatever transactions you want to do with them. So imagine the lady wasn't indeed, a worker with an MTN. You would have realized that she would have been obviously been scammed. And so it is very important that we learn these red flags. So we move on to the next audio.